Drasa was a shadow in the tunnel, her breath measured, her heartbeat slow and steady as she had trained for endless hours. She gripped the cold metal of her rifle, every detail meticulously prepared for the task at hand. For hours, she waited in the dim, damp passage beneath the earth, the distant rumble of planes overhead a constant reminder of her proximity to the airport. The mission was clear: eliminate a government officer arriving by private jet. She had studied the schedules, memorized the routines, and waited for the moment when opportunity would intersect with precision. When the plane touched down, its engines howling and wheels screeching across the tarmac, Drasa shifted into a state of heightened awareness. She watched through her scope as the officer disembarked, surrounded by guards, but her focus was unwavering. She followed from a distance, moving with practiced stealth, covering kilometers in silence, never losing sight of her target. She chose her vantage point, calculated wind and distance, and squeezed the trigger. The shot rang out, a single, clean sound that left no trace. The officer fell, confusion erupting among the guards, but none could discern where the shot had come from or who had fired it. Her work was done. With the same efficiency that marked her every move, Drasa vanished into the night. After each mission, Drasa performed a ritual. She would collect the brass casing of the bullet she had fired, a small, tangible token of the life she had taken. These casings were not for trophies or memories, but for something deeper, a connection to her past, to the pain she carried. She would visit the grave of her mother, where her father already lay buried, and place the bullet casings on the stone. It was as if each act of violence, each moment of cold professionalism, found its echo in the quiet grief of the cemetery. Drasa's profession was killing, but it brought her no joy. It was a means of survival, a part of her life she could not escape, and yet she sought comfort in the rituals that connected her to family, to loss, to something human within her hardened exterior. On this somber visit, Drasa met with her father, a man ravaged by illness and regret. She told him of her new assignment, a mission that would take a year. She might not see him again before it was finished. Her father replied with weary resignation. He was at the final stage of cancer, and if death did not take him soon, he would end his own life on Valentine's Day. The pain of losing Drasa's mother, the years of Drasa's absence, had left him hollow. This might be their last meeting. Drasa's eyes filled with tears, her heart heavy with the weight of family, of duty, of loss. Elsewhere, Levi's life unfolded in shadows. Nightmares haunted her sleep, and she often found herself wandering the seashore, searching for solace, jotting down thoughts in a battered diary. Her past was full of violence and precision. Once an army officer, now retired, but renowned for her deadly skills as a sniper. She had killed more than 200 enemies, each shot a testament to her expertise and her loneliness. One night, Levi received a message, a location, a summons. She was needed once more. She arrived at a military base, met by Barto, a stern lady officer who knew Levi's history. Barto had a mission for Levi, one that only a sniper of her skill could accomplish. But first, Barto asked a question. Was there anyone who would remember Levi if she disappeared? Levi's answer was simple. She had no one. No ties, no family, no friends. Barto nodded, satisfied. Levi would be sent on a mission, isolated for a year. Her only company, the emptiness of her assignment. Soon, Levi was sedated and awoke in an airplane, disoriented and uncertain. She asked where she was being taken, but the soldier escorting her refused to answer. Protocol and secrecy were absolute. Levi surrendered her ID and watch, knowing she would only see them again if she survived and completed her mission. The plane descended, the soldier handed Levi a parachute, and she jumped into the unknown, landing in a desolate, forbidding region. She trekked 32 kilometers north, traversing a barren landscape devoid of life, until she reached a lonely watchtower. There, she met JD, the previous guard, who explained the rules. Isolation, no outside contact except for a monthly call to headquarters, no communication with the Russian guard in the opposing East Tower. They were to stand watch over a deep, mysterious trench, a place known as the God Ditch. JD explained that the trench was unfathomably deep, filled with secrets and dangers. In 1940, the U.S. Army had sent thousands of soldiers to clear out the creatures within, but none had returned. The duty was simple: prevent anything from escaping the abyss. Levi listened, trying to understand the gravity of her assignment. JD tossed a grenade into the trench, and a terrible, inhuman sound echoed from the depths. This was the threat they guarded against: the Holloman, creatures that defied explanation. JD's time was up. He was going home after a year on duty. As a helicopter arrived to extract him, JD was shot dead by the soldier inside, his rope cut, his body discarded. Levi realized that those sent to this place never returned. The isolation was absolute. Days turned into weeks as Levi settled into her routine, checking reports, reloading automatic guns, and reading books to stave off boredom. The watchtower was inscribed with notes from previous guards, all echoing fear, loneliness, and warnings about